difficult team for us to play against because of their length and their athleticism. And they are very good defensively. I don't think we'll see that from Atlanta tonight.
As that's not their game, hopefully that gets the Heat off and running to some success. Heat TV analyst par excellence Ron Rothstein. Up next, the Heat needs to be on high this evening. Heat guard Drew Smith and Alejandro Solana join us in a matter of moments. This is the Miami Heat audio experience.
My name is Ray Mullis. I was coming home from work. Traffic had stopped. The guy behind me he didn't stop. So I called Morgan & Morgan. The one ad that really impressed me was when Morgan said, "Nobody is a nobody." I felt like that. Anybody I've talked to that's used Morgan & Morgan has always got positive things to say about him. And they took care of me, and now we're doing okay.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Nothing compares to catching your Miami Heat live, and nobody knows that better than you Heat fans. It all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Miami Heat and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can experience all the sights, sounds, and styles in person. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Miami Heat tickets at Ticketmaster. Even if you're headed to the game last minute, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live. Get tickets at Ticketmaster.com/Heat.
The NBA is happening Christmas Day. 5 games, 1 unforgettable lineup.
That's what Christmas is all about.
Buckets for breakfast, breakaways for dessert. It's the holiday tradition.
Christmas is our day.
With star power from across the globe.
The stars, they are going to be out.
The best gift, you don't even have to unwrap it.
We want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year!
NBA Christmas Day begins at noon Eastern on ABC and ESPN.
The Miami Heat audio experience continues. Let's get back to the pregame show.
They got a couple guys that are really hungry for steals. Got to look out for those guys. And then, aggressive young player that can rebound, get assists, and score a lot of points. And then Trey that's been doing it for a long time. I feel like every time we step in this building, it's been like a fun game or either play in or whatever. It's been a tight game over time. So I'm really, really excited.
For a game where Pelle Larsson didn't score victory once in his first regular season, picking up one of the bigger ones last season in the play-in game in April. He's in the starting lineup tonight. Miami wants this one badly. It's an anniversary of sorts, ladies and gentlemen, as the Heat get ready to take on the Hawks, not for these two teams, but for Drew Smith, who's just glad to be here, suiting up for his 31st game this evening, looking forward to actually being healthy once again. A year ago tomorrow, the Heat guard was in a local hospital to repair his latest injury, a ruptured left Achilles. Now fully healthy, he's looking ahead. I spoke with number 12 after Wednesday's practice, asking him if he sees positives above the negatives as they step on the court tonight.
It's never as bad as it feels, probably, especially when you're in a stretch like this. But, we also, we have to be real with ourselves and understand that, we've got to come together collectively and, start finding a way to win these games. And so, I think we're definitely focused on that as a unit, just continuing to come together and figure out ways to win.
It's been difficult on the road all season long. You've had some nice wins. You beat the Clippers, you beat Memphis earlier in the season, and a few others along the way. But home, you were really dominant, 10-2 at one point, and then lost a few games at this point. What's the major reason why you get the feeling that sometimes you do have the highs and lows over the course of the season, whether you're playing on the road or you're playing at home?
I think that's just, a lot of times that's how NBA seasons go. They're long seasons, a lot of games. You have some guys in and out here and there, some injuries that pop up, and you just got to kind of take the punches as they come. And so we're in a tough stretch right now, and we're gonna have to work even harder to get out of it. It's not gonna be easy. No one's gonna gift us any wins, so we're gonna have to figure out what it's going to take for us to, start putting them back together.
It's cliche-like, but I understand home court advantage, what it really means to a team. But what about this team specifically and why things were working so earlier in the year and right now they just aren't? How much do you need to get back to what you were doing before, however you're playing the game, and play well that you do in your building?
Yeah, I think, we just have to get back to, playing as a collective, playing as a unit, playing as a team. I think that's when this team's at their best. Is whenever we're celebrating each other's success, whenever everybody's just completely pouring into everything, and I think we understand that, and I think we're gonna do whatever we can to get back to that.
I think the great thing though is you're trying your best to balance your job and off the court and things of that nature, and with a possible new addition coming along the way down the road. How is this for you? How do you feel personally about the way things are going for you? In your life, is the way things are happening right now around the holidays?
try to keep those things pretty separate. You know what I mean? I think basketball is one thing. It's it's our job, it's what we do, and it's what we love to do also. So we're very privileged to get to come in here and for this to be our job. So we always have to remember that as well. Just be have some gratitude that this is what we get to do, and be appreciative and understand that we can come in here and give this our all, and then off the court, obviously I'm super excited for all that to come in the future. But like I said, I try to keep those things pretty separate.
On and off the floor, trying to lead his team to a much-needed victory while keeping it real in everyday life, accept all the good he's doing and go from there. He's Drew Smith, as steady a competitor as there is and has been in the Miami attack. Let's welcome in Alejandro Solana. Pella is back. We had the highlight. We heard from him before. However, a bit bigger of a story is not really his return and Niko Jovic coming back, but back soreness for Bam Adebayo. We're not asking Larson now in the starting line to be number 13, but what does he do stepping in to try to soften the blow?
Yeah, well, I think, Tommy, he's still somebody who can put a lot of pressure on the opposing defense by just getting downhill, by getting to the rim. And obviously he is capable of knocking in shots from the perimeter. But I think one thing that's probably been undervalued a little bit with Pella has been his decision-making. Mm-hmm. There were stretches where you and I talked about how he and Jaime, whether they started or whether Pella started or not, that connection that they were creating, where Jaime always seemed to know where Pella was on the floor. And I think, he's cut his turnovers down. Just his ability to stay on the floor and not pick up fouls, I know has really been under focus. But in his opportunities to start this season, and there's been a lot of them, so this is a pretty large sample size, he's had games where he ends up actually closing in that closing lineup just based on the constant smart decisions he makes with the basketball. He understands his role, and he also knows that, hey, if he's out on the floor and he's got the open shot, he's got to take it. But he also understands to get out in transition, get to the free throw line, get to the rim, all that stuff. He's really honed in on those types of attributes, which is why every time there's an opportunity, he gets the start.
When asked if this could be also tomorrow, Bam, out of the lineup, Eric Spoelstra said he knows he wants to play every single day, but let's call it day to day. I know it's awful tough to lose him for any period of time, but they did it before with the 6 games he sat out with a foot injury. But how tough might it be right now when you're in the midst of losing like this?
Yeah, it's tough because it's not just we always think of Bam like defensively. Oh, how are you going to be able to make up for the lack of Bam? And look, that's a legitimate question. And you heard Jax earlier. I heard him when he was talking to you, Tommy, and he was saying you'd love to have Bam out there. You love to have Tyler out there, especially when you've lost 9 out of your last 11. I think there's a lot of things that have led to Miami losing some games and some issues offensively. And I think you have to credit the fact that opponents have figured out how through stretches to really stifle what the Heat like to do or want to get to do on the offensive end. But also, if you have Bam and Tyler playing in a lot of these games, you probably feel like some of the losses probably wouldn't be losses because those are your 2 best players. So it's not as simple as just getting those guys healthy, but it matters and it factors in. And long term, you want your 2 players to develop that camaraderie. And those are the 2 guys who have missed the most time this season for Miami. So it's frustrating, especially in a game like this, where you feel like offensively you can get back to doing some of the things that you haven't been able to against a team that struggles on that end. But now you have to worry about defensively being exposed by a team without Bam, who is looking at that and saying, wow, that's huge for us because we want to score a lot of points.
Kalel is now your big for tonight's game. What, if anything, different do the Raptors do to take him out of his game? Because in the previous game before the one on Tuesday night, it's a combined 13 points in the 2 games. Now, he's excelled in the games in between on the previous road trip that hopefully he could pick back up tonight against a smaller group down low.
Yeah, and more opportunities on the offensive end, right, with no Bam Adebayo. The question is how much of Bam being on the floor alongside Kalel was opening up those opportunities for Kalel. So you don't have that threat of Bam out on the outside just kind of floating around. Will it lead to the same lob attempts for Kalel? We'll see. And that's something that he's already gotten the opportunity to do this season, starting in place of Bam Adebayo when Bam missed those 6 games earlier in the season. But, I still look at the opportunity here for Kalel. This is a less physical matchup than maybe that Toronto one. So I think that helps him. And he's just got to continue doing what he's been doing. The 3-point attempts, they'll be there throughout the course of the game if Miami continues to be consistent at getting downhill, getting into the painted area. But he's got to just be a menace on the boards tonight. And defensively, Tommy, he has to defend that interior as well as he's done because this Hawks team, just like Miami, they want to get near the rim.
Heat Rewards is here, Heat fans. Season ticket and Heat Elite members. It's time to earn an extra 150 rewards points. Just enter the Heat app, go to the members section, tap rewards, and enter code GIFT in the Heat Rewards section. The code expires at 10 a.m. tomorrow, so get going now. Still ahead, Jack's chats with Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra in mere moments. You're listening to the Miami Heat Audio Experience.
For Miami Heat game days, DoorDash is your triple threat, bringing the food, drinks, and supplies right where you need it. The one who delivers the energy boost at halftime, gives your watch party that spark, the playmaker and the day maker. When the Heat needs you most, that's when you need DoorDash. Call in the sixth man, DoorDash, official partner of the NBA.
Florida Blue presents game-changing health solutions. Did you know you can relieve stress by doing yoga at a Florida Blue center?
And exhale.
Treating yourself to Florida Blue discounts. Seeing a chiropractor covered by Florida Blue. Having your own Florida Blue health consultant.
Welcome.
Or cheering on your team right now. Discover more game-changing health solutions at FloridaBlue.com. Florida Blue is a trade name of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, Inc.
At the UPS store, not every small business needs the same thing, but every small business needs something. We're the scanning and faxing store, the printing store, the packing and shipping store,
I need my designing place and my printing place to be the same place store.
We're the one-stop, right around the corner, everything you need so you can be unstoppable store. The UPS store, be unstoppable. The UPS store locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
Time for more of the Miami Heat audio experience. The pregame show is underway.
Focus on the details of the game. That's going to help us get out this losing streak, however you want to call it. This moment that we're in, the spot that we're in, is being better with the details of the game on both sides of the ball and how we want to execute and who we want to be.
With Norman Powell, sure that eventually they can get there. Welcome back, everybody. A quick one-and-done road swing taking on the Atlanta Hawks. Both games last year in the Like a Good Neighbor Arena was won by Atlanta. However, it was the fourth straight year that he tied or captured the season series. The previous time they were swept in the Georgia State Capitol before last year was 2019. Jack sat down with Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra, asked him how good it is to have reinforcements returning to the lineup so they don't have a chance of getting swept again. Jax?
Tommy, thank you very much. Although you're not going to have Bam tonight, just a feeling of what you get when you get Nico back, who the last time we saw was about to rock a rim in the Heat's house, and obviously the energy and effort of Pelle Larsson.
Yes, I mean, we're coming off of that disappointing loss, on the 23rd, and then on the 24th, I felt totally uplifted. We had a great meeting, and then the young guys and Nico and Pelle got into a real competitive 3-on-3 full court game and drilling and all of that. And by the end of it, I was pretty convinced both of those guys would be ready, and that was their approach. They've been doing a bunch of stuff behind the scenes to get them ready for that, but the whole gym was watching. So even after that loss, that definitely was a boost of emotions heading into the holiday. And they both responded well, the last 2 days, and they're ready to go. We need it right now.
Full scale, I'm sure, understanding that everything at every point in the game needs to be better, but particularly third quarters defensively over the last 9 games or so, got to be nowhere near where you want them. What has to be better when you guys come out for that second half push?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned it, and hopefully more people will mention it. The message has been delivered. Our guys are even echoing the message. They understand it. They know it. It doesn't take that many games for everybody in the locker room to realize it. It's just one of these things that we have to correct. We'll get them out earlier, and start that process of warming everybody up. But what they've really seen is just how devastating that is to have some halftime leads, or at least great first halves, and then to start off the third quarter having to call the first timeout every game. That can be very deflating. And the exact opposite of that is how inspiring that can be if you get off to a great start, then. But there's all these mini skirmishes, right? We talked about their swing moments. That's just one of them, to set the tone at the beginning of the game, end of quarters, end of the half, beginning of the third quarter. end of the third quarter, and then there's probably 2, 3, 4 of the other ones throughout the course of the game. And so each one of those, when they arrive, you've got to try to conquer those moments, and you do enough of that, you're putting yourself in a great position to win. This will be a very competitive game tonight. Both teams, are not where they want to be in the East. Both of us have been playing similar basketball. The rankings are pretty similar, offense and defense. Both teams will want to play fast. Et cetera, et cetera. So it'll probably be decided by who's the most competitively tough, and that's what our objective is tonight.
One of the many things that stands out about the Hawks is their ability to create havoc for you on the offensive end, if you allow it. They're top 10 in deflections and steals. What's that extra bit of care you have to take care of the ball with when you're playing Atlanta?
Yeah, you have to strike that balance because you don't want to be too careful. We want to be aggressive. We want to take control of this game and get it on our terms. But you do have to be mindful. Certainly have to be mindful of Daniels where he is at all times. But they have some good, active, big wings that also create havoc. Us coming off of the game that we just did with Toronto, I think there's no better game to prepare you for this. That kind of activity and the length and the activity. Trying to get deflections, all of that. We did not handle that well in Toronto, but I believe we're going to handle it better tonight. And part of that will be just being as aggressive as possible, particularly early on the clock.
Good luck tonight. We appreciate the time.
Okay, thanks.
Tommy, back to you.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Miami Heat audio experience.
Heat basketball on WQAM FM Miramar, Miami, WQAM AM Miami, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Now let's welcome back Alejandro. Norman Powell got a bit perturbed during the Raptor loss after the team's play. Every once in a while, is that good to show emotion where your teammates are better than what they are to get your point across to them, especially as a veteran player like he is?
Yeah, and look, I think what he said, it mattered. He said that there were times where players weren't executing the play that Coach Spo was drawing up on the sideline. And look, I know this Heat team is a young team, but you need your veterans, right? Like that's why going out and getting Norman Powell was so pivotal. Sure, he can put the ball in the basket. That's great. But also you want that veteran leadership, somebody who's been in pretty much any situation that you can imagine in the NBA to be able to guide some of the younger players that he's playing alongside. So I'm glad that he came out. He was honest about his emotional, I don't want to call it an outburst, Tommy, but just his emotions kind of coming out over that stretch there. And when you're losing, that's who you look to, your leaders, your best players to kind of steer the ship back in the direction. So I'm glad Norm said what he said, and I'm sure he's told the guys in the locker room the exact same thing, and hopefully it translates to better play on the court.
With that in mind, Davion Mitchell, one of the few games where he's not really a factor like he has been all season and even into last year. 3 points, 2 assists, been so consistent since he got here. Don't you easily expect him to recover in a game like this with the thought of guarding Trae Young for 30 to 35 minutes?
Yeah, and that's a difficult matchup for anybody in the league. And Tommy, I was thinking back to the last time the Heat were in that building. It was for that play-in tournament game, the second one in Atlanta. And I know Tyler Hero had that 30-point game, but if you remember, Davion hit 3 triples in the overtime period. He really helped close out that game and actually took the Heat and won them that game. And he limited Trae Young in that overtime period. I know Amy was telling you earlier, you have to attack Trae Young, and there's no doubt about it. We all know about his defensive limitations. And I love tonight this matchup with Davion being able to get downhill, point of attack offensively, and get into the painted area and go create, especially after that last game. But let's not forget the last time he was in that building, sure, defensively, he was huge off the bench, but he won the Heat the game in overtime by knocking in some threes. So hopefully there's a little bit of that still left in the tank at State Farm Arena.
I'm not exactly enthralled with the idea of overtime, Alejandro, but you know what? I'll take the victory however it comes, even if it goes to 2 or 3 overtimes. On the NBA Friday night scoreboard, 3 other games going on at the top of the hour. Charlotte is at Orlando, Toronto at Washington, and Boston is at Indiana as Rick Carlisle goes for win number 1,000 for the 8th time. Our producer, Ben Revere, assisted by Wendell Epps and Marcos Gonzalez, at your Miami Heat and the Atlanta Hawks at the State Farm Arena. When we return, Jason Jackson, Amy Audibert rejoin us with this evening's call. Now for Alejandro, I'm Tommy. Enjoy the game, everybody, on the Miami Heat audio experience.
Imagine a bank that is always in your court. One that sees their customers as part of a team, with the common goal to achieve their dreams. Well, imagine that.
There is one. We're Amarant. We're ready to help you wherever you are in life. And just as importantly, wherever you want to go. Amarant, official bank of the Miami Heat.
We often welcome people as a standard greeting. It's become as common as greeting another with a hello. At Baptist Health, being welcome has far deeper meaning. So welcome to the warmer side of care, where we advance innovation and treatments through research while educating the next generation of experts, all close to home. Here, the sun shines through each one of us as we stand by each one of you. Welcome to the warmer side of care. Welcome to Baptist Health.
The Miami Heat audio experience.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You play for the win, not just on game day, every day. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Robinhood, the official jersey patch partner of the Miami Heat. Your money, your move.
Imagine a bank that is always in your court. One that sees their customers as part of a team, with the common goal to achieve their dreams. Well, imagine that. There is one. We're Amarant. We're ready to help you wherever you are in life. And just as importantly, wherever you want to go. Amarant, official bank of the Miami Heat.
Doja Cat, Ma Vie World Tour.
I said what I said. I don't care.
Live in Miami. Doja Cat. Performing at Kaseya Center, November 11th, 2026. Get tickets now at dojacat.com.
Mitchell setting it up outside. Mitchell fakes, drives, 12-footer good. Davion Mitchell has 4, 117-100. Now Dyson Daniels back and lays it in. Dyson came right back and scored, and it's 117-102. Hawks trailing. We're down to 3:53 to go in the game. And now Mitchell will slow it down and set it up. Davion Mitchell, and now Miami decides to call timeout. So timeout Miami with 3:49 to go. It's the Heat 117, Hawks 102, Hawks Radio Network.
Nothing compares to catching your Hawks live, and nobody knows that better than you, Hawks fans. It all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Atlanta Hawks of the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can experience all the sights, sounds, and styles in person. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Hawks tickets at Ticketmaster. Even if you're headed to the game last minute, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live. Get tickets at Ticketmaster.com/Hawks.
Nothing beats your game day confidence. You knock on wood and the coffee table and bite each chip exactly twice. This is our year, you whisper to your bobblehead. So when you buy this season's lucky jersey, you don't leave checkout up to chance. You use Pays, an online checkout offered by banks and credit unions. Rituals intact. Payment handled. Bobblehead still nodding yes. Shop with confidence at your favorite online stores. Visit Pays.com. That's PAZE.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Now, back to the game.
On the Atlanta Hawks Radio Network.
Well, 3:49 to go in the game. It's 117-102. The Hawks are trailing by 15. Miami is led by as many as 17. The Hawks did get it down to a point, 79-78 with 3 minutes to go in the third. But then the Heat took off after that. So each team now has 2 timeouts left, with 3:49 to go. And in play it comes now, where it's Larson. Larson dribbles in the middle. Gets it way out to Mitchell. Davion Mitchell back to Larson for a 3, and he misses. The rebound, Jalen Johnson. Jalen picking up his 8th rebound, and now a whistle and a double dribble. Well, Jalen now has 10 assists and 8 rebounds on the night. And now it's Mitchell to bring it up with 3.5 to go in the game. Mitchell bouncing it up top. He goes in the middle with his pass now where it's Wiggins. Wiggins starts to dribble right. Wiggins trying to back his way in. He turns. He shoots the right-hander. It's short. The rebound, Dyson Daniels. Here comes Dyson back, leading the break. Dyson in the middle gets it out to Jalen. Jalen Johnson, a three-pointer on the way. It is no good. The rebound, Wiggins. Wiggins will clear it away now where it's taken there by Davion Mitchell. Mitchell comes back up as we're about to hit 3 minutes to go in the game. Mitchell gets it out to Powell. Norman Powell driving the lane. A little pass over onto the left side where they get it back out. Mitchell up to Powell. Powell now with 6. Powell down the lane. Left-hander off the glass and good. Norman Powell has 19. Hawks trail 119 to 102. 2:40 to go in the game. It's Trae Young in the middle. Trae bouncing it outside. Directing traffic out there. Trae, stutter step, drives in the lane. Floater is short. Rebound taken by Onyeka, though, up and in. Onyeka Okongwu with a good job and a rebound basket. They called a delay of game warning on the Hawks after that as the ball got knocked away. Second one would be a technical. So now Miami with it as the clock ticks to 2:25 to go. And Davion Mitchell brings it across against Trae Young. Mitchell way outside, now moves towards the middle, goes down the lane. His floater is off the rim, no good. Rebound though, Ware is going to bring it back out. And they get it to Powell. Powell down the lane, and he missed the dunk, but he got fouled. They called a foul as the dunk was missed. Fouls on Onyeka. That's 2 on 00. With 2:10 to go, we've got the Knicks coming in here tomorrow night. And that's an 8 o'clock start. Hope to see you here at State Farm Arena. And then we hit the road on Sunday, travel to Oklahoma City to play on Monday night. As the first is no good by Powell. Now if he misses another one, everybody gets Chick-fil-A. So wait a minute, they called a lane violation. They called a lane violation against the Hawks. Now what's the ruling on this if he misses another one? Do we get the Chick-fil-A or? Here's the second attempt. He makes this one, so it's a moot point anyway. So they called a lane violation of all things. 120 to 104. Hawks trailing by 16 here with 2:10 to go in the game. And now Norman Powell will get another shot because of the lane violation. I think they called Trae on the lane violation. And the second one is good by Powell. So it's 121 to 104. Hawks down by 17 again. This matches the biggest lead for Miami. Trae drives, throws it in the corner. Jalen Johnson. Jalen gets double teamed. They knock it out of bounds. It'll still be Hawks ball. Jalen has 10 rebounds, has 8 rebounds, 10 assists on the night. And now he looks, the Hawks do, to get it in play. And it comes in now where it goes on the right wing to Nikhil, who got fouled. That's only the first in the last 2 minutes, though, against Miami. So the Hawks will put it in play on the side with 1:56 to go. And Jalen puts it in play. And it's knocked out of bounds by Miami. So it'll still be Hawks ball. Now 13 on the 24. And now Jalen looks to get it in. He does, out to Onyeka Okongwu. Onyeka goes to Trae. Trae Young dribbling in the middle. Now steps back, shoots a 3, and makes the 3. That's a 30-point game for Trae. And it's 121 to 107. The Hawks trail. As now the Heat bring it back with Jovic. Jovic dribbling in the middle. Now Jovic bounces it around the perimeter. Gets a nice pass underneath to Wiggins, who puts it up, no good. But then he tipped his rebound up and in. Another offensive rebound. And it's 123 to 107. Hawks trail. Now Nikhil drives and lays it in. Nikhil Alexander-Walker has 15. Hawks down, 123 to 109. The clock ticking at 1:20 to go in the game. And now Mitchell goes across with his pass out to Norman Powell. Powell out there against Dyson Daniels. Now Dyson right up on him again, but now it's Mitchell. Mitchell out there against Trae Young with 3. Let's go with a 3. And misses. The rebound tipped in the air, and Jalen Johnson saves it. And he gets it now to Onyeka. Goes to Trey. Trey tricky dribbles. Trey bounce pass nicely to Onyeka, but he got fouled. So it's 123 to 109, the Hawks trail, and now Onyeka Okongwu will go to the line. Like Jalen Johnson's one rebound away from a triple-double. Sure, he'd rather have the win, but he's one rebound away from a triple-double. As Onyeka makes the first free throw. Onyeka Okongwu now has 11 points. He's got 7 rebounds tonight on the season. Onyeka averages 7.4 on the rebounding. And now one more coming, and Onyeka makes it. So Onyeka Okongwu with a dozen. And it's 123 to 111. Miami leading. We're under a minute to go as now the pass goes to Davion Mitchell. Mitchell way outside. He goes to Powell. Powell back to Mitchell. Mitchell right side to Larson. Larson in the corner to Ware, who's going to shoot a three and make the three. Khalil Ware hits his second three of this half, and it's 126 to 111. Hawks are down. Trey goes with a pass to Dyson Daniels for a three, and he misses. Dyson now 7 of 53 on his threes. And Nikhil is down. Nikhil is down and hurt. Oh my goodness, 22 seconds to go in the game. Nikhil is down. Hawks need a foul or something to get a timeout. He's holding his hand. Oh no. Can somebody please foul somebody to get the clock to stop? And there's the 24-second violation. The Miami fans are being obnoxious as normal. And now we're going to get a whistle. Nikhil's going to come out of the game. I don't know why nobody fouled to get him out of the game. He's holding on to his, I think it was his hand or midsection. Maybe he just got hit in the midsection. But he was bent over. But anyway, the horn has just sounded, and that's it. We don't need another injury. I think Nikhil is okay. I don't want to speculate, but I think he got hit, a little low. But the game ends, and the Hawks have now dropped 5 in a row, and they have to get it back quickly tomorrow night when the New York Knickerbockers come into town. And you know how good they are right now. So the Hawks drop this one. It's 5 in a row now, and the Hawks fall 2 games under 500. They fall to 15-17 and go to 5-10 here at home. So Nikhil I think he's okay walking off right now. Veet's got his arm around him. So I think Nikhil's okay. But your final score here at State Farm Arena tonight, it was the Miami Heat 126 and the Hawks 111. Stay tuned. John Fricke's going to come back and wrap things up in a moment on the Hawks Radio Network.
1 in 8 women have thyroid issues.
Am I the one? I am kind of tired. I should see a doctor. Is it genetic? Does my health plan even cover tests like that? In-network? Out-of-network? Why is this always a whole big thing? Wait. I have Kaiser Permanente. So my coverage includes regular preventive care. Guess it doesn't have to be a whole big thing.
Kaiser Permanente. Healthcare that just works.
Nothing compares to catching your Hawks live, and nobody knows that better than you, Hawks fans. It all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Atlanta Hawks of the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can experience all the sights, sounds, and styles in person. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Hawks tickets at Ticketmaster. Even if you're headed to the game last minute, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live. Get tickets at Ticketmaster.com/Hawks.
Nothing beats your game day confidence. You knock on wood and the coffee table and bite each chip exactly twice. This is our year, you whisper to your bobblehead. So when you buy this season's lucky jersey, you don't leave checkout up to chance. You use Pays, an online checkout offered by banks and credit unions. Rituals intact. Payment handled. Bobblehead still nodding yes. Shop with confidence at your favorite online stores. Visit Pays.com. That's PAZE.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Attention, Atlanta Hawks fans. Ready to elevate your game on the road? If you're in need of a new set of tires for your car, truck, or SUV, then check out Kumo Tire, where quality and affordability go hand in hand. Kumo Tire is committed to giving you the confidence you need to tackle the road ahead with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee and road hazard protection on many of our most popular tire lines. Join the winning team this season. Choose Kumo Tire and get performance without compromise. Visit kumotire.com to learn more. Game on. Game on. Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details.
Now, back to the game.
On the Atlanta Hawks Radio Network.
Well, another disappointing performance at home for the Atlanta Hawks, who only led once in this game at 32-30. That was their largest lead of the game at 2 points, and Miami then went on a run after that, a 16-3 run in the second quarter. Hawks did cut it to 1 at 79-78, and Miami went on another run, and the game was pretty much over. Hawks never pressed them after that and lost by 15 at home.